Welcome to the Superhero Cut Show where we're talking all things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's your boy CB Hayes. Please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you know when we post. So today I'm here just to talk to you guys about Sony because the president or CEO of Sony has something to say about Kraven filming and about Sony in general. So I want to go over that when it comes to Sony and Marvel, in their Marvel films that they've done with the Spider-Man spinoff characters, with the Spider-Man spinoff project. So I want to read this tweet off to you guys and let's talk about it. So this is what the tweet says. Sony Pictures CEO confirms they are rethinking the future of their Spider-Man villain spin-off films. Kraven the Hunter is the worst launch since he became CEO in 2017. He doesn't think they are bad films and blames the critics for crucifying them. If we put another one out, it's going to get destroyed no matter how good or how bad it is. So I want to break down each point that he says, okay? Because I do feel like each point means something, but we just have to kind of break it down. Talk about. So let's talk about point one, where it says, Sony Pictures CEO confirms they are rethinking the future of their Spider-Man villain spinoff films. Now, this is obviously a good thing because, as we all know, right, the spinoff films just did not work, and mostly because you didn't have Spider-Man in them. So why do you expect fans are going to show up? Venom is the only movie that they showed up for. Any other character, Morbius, Kraven, Madame, etc., it just didn't do well. So makes sense, right? Now, let's go to point number two here. Now, point number two is Kraven the Hunter is the worst launch since he became CEO in 2017. Now, I will be honest. I expected Kraven to do better than Morbius. I'm not going to lie, because I think Morbius is the worst. Well, I think Madame Web is the worst movie that they've done so far. But, I will say, I thought that, it would have done at least better than, Morbius at least. And the fact that that Kraven did the worst and it had probably like the best actor out of the three main characters, like it's kind of crazy. But, sometimes you need to fall on your face for you to understand that you're doing the wrong thing, right? And the prime example is, how, the Marvels flopped so hard that, Kevin Feige and them kind of got into like panic mode, as they should have been, because that movie was terrible. Now, second thing, he doesn't think they are bad films and blames the critics for crucifying them. Now, this is where the problem comes in, you know what I'm saying? Because why is it that this guy feels like the movies aren't bad and you want to blame the critics? See, the one thing that I can't stand about these studios is that a lot of them don't like to take responsibility for the things that they do wrong. And the reality is whether if the critics were good or bad to any of these films, that would not have changed whether if these films were going to bomb or not. There was nobody in their right minds to going to watch Kraven Madame Web or freaking Morbius. A lot of fans who aren't into this stuff, they don't even know who Madame Web or Kraven or Morbius is. So when you're trying to sell people on these random characters without having a main character attached to it like a Spider-Man, how do you expect people to, go to theaters and watch these films? You know what I'm saying? So, and I just feel like, blaming the critics is kind of a cop out. I am not a big fan of that at all. And in my opinion, I think content creators like myself and Jerry and Slav and others, I think we have more of an impact than even the critics. I feel like before people are going to Rotten Tomato scores, they're looking at our YouTube channels to see if we like them or not. Because here is the thing. People want us to go and see them first, and then they check our stuff and say, "Oh, you know what? Like I'm thinking about seeing it this Saturday. Let me just see if if this so and so creator that I like, let me see if they like it. You know what I mean? So like they're coming to us too. You know what I mean? And I feel like we also play a part in that. But like the reality is that if your movie is good, people are going to show up. Definitely when it comes to the superhero space. When it comes to Kraven, Morbius, Madame Web, even the Venom, and I think all the Venom films are trash. Like I'll be honest, like I know some people that cape for them, and that's fine, but I am not a fan of the Venom movies at all. I just feel like Venom is just terrible without Spider-Man. And yeah, that's how I feel. But yeah, man, these Sony films have never been, amazingly good. And, he just shouldn't be shocked at this, but blaming critics for why your movies are bombing, bro, that is not the reason why your films are bombing. They're just bad movies. And the last thing, if we put another one out, it's going to get destroyed no matter how good or bad. Bro, if you brought Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire back, that movie will make close to $1 billion. If you brought in a live action Miles Morales and made him the Spider-Man of your Sony U, which I think they should do, that would make $1 billion. Hey, there's so many characters in the Spider-Man universe. Spider-Verse showed us that. We have Spider-Man 2099. We have Spider-Gwen. We have a Ben Reilly Spider-Man. There's so many different versions of Spider-Man. It's just stupid for them not to include any type of Spider-Man to be in this Sony Marvel universe. And it's like, no one's going to compare it to Tom Holland because you're not going to use another Peter Parker. And like, I'm even against Toby and, you know, Andrew Combat, because there's so many other versions of Spider-Man that you can use. Why not use them? You know, like if I'm them, I'm knocking on Spider-Man 2099's door, or you know, Spider-Gwen's door, because those are already Spider people that fans have fallen in love with. So why not go that route? So that's just where, you know, it just, the common sense piece, like, yo, like, you already have fans that are familiar with different versions of Spider-Man. Why not use them in the live action? You know what I mean? And maybe there's some type of deal that they might have struck with the creators of Spider-Verse to maybe like until after, but still, like, you're just putting out bomb after bomb after bomb, and it's like it took you this many fails to understand that fans didn't like it. It just feels like it just seems like they're like disillusioned. You know, it feels like they're delusional. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of what he said, but the reality is, like, you know, you can blame us and keep putting out these same projects and they're still going to flop. So that's on you. So yeah, man, that's how I feel about it. I just feel like what he said was petty and kind of dodging the fact that they were putting out bad movies, you know? And that's just the way I feel. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about Sony, but please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, and peace out.